Yo, YouTube. What up? We're back. Doing NFL Week 1 picks. I'm going to do UFC and NFL on this channel only. They're my two favorite sports. Everyone I know is interested in those two sports. Not as much as the UFC, but I think NFL people are really going to enjoy this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully make a lot of good picks. I think I might even have a co-host on for some of these football shows. Been in the talks with a couple friends. Possible, but we'll see. It would be fun. But let's get into it. Week 1, season debut, first game of the year. Chiefs Ravens. Start off by saying the pick is the Chiefs. Average to high confidence. Pat Mahomes is 4-1 against Lamar Jackson in his career. I think that does say something with confidence and mentality for Lamar, that this guy just has his number. The Chiefs did lose L'Jarius Sneed in the offseason. I think he went to the Titans. They still have Chris Jones, who's just a game wrecker. As long as he's out there, that defense is going to be on their P's and Q's. The Ravens, on the other hand, did pick up Derrick Henry, which is pretty big. Not too many moves other than that. I heard they lost a few people on the offensive line. But Lamar's just going to have a good season. It's not going to start week 1. Quick pick, Kansas City Chiefs. Lock it up. Reigning champs aren't going to come out there and get humiliated on live TV, if anyone's thinking that. Game 2, my team. Not going to pick with the heart, though. I love the Bears to death. The pick I make is going to be the pick I make. Start off by saying the Eagles got Saquon Barkley in the offseason. It's supposed to be huge. Other than that, still a lot of the same guys. They did lose Jason Kelsey, which is crazy. So sad. The defense just got tuned so bad at the end of last year. Last 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season. Then that playoff game against the Buccaneers. A lot of people are still pretty high on the Eagles this year. Like I said, I love them to death. I want them to win every week. But I'm not going to put my hard-earned money on them in week 1. I'm going to be rooting for them the whole fucking game. Going crazy. I think it's going to be a close game. This in Brazil thing has me a little weirded out. You can already hear the excuses. The guys might have jet lag, blah, blah, blah. Didn't sleep good, whatever the case is. For the Packers, they have a really good team. They're young. I think they're pretty humble. They have a really good overall defense, way better than the Eagles. Eagles also lost Fletcher Cox, which is huge. But the Packers have a really good balanced team on both sides. Jordan Love is good. I hate to say it. They have Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. They definitely have some killers out there on offense. They're an underdog against the Eagles in Brazil. If it was in Philly, I would definitely think the Eagles would pull it out. Crazy I'm doing this for week 1, but Packers are the pick for week 1. I think they're going to pull it off over the Birds in a close game. I just can't pick the Eagles defense until I see it. I hope the Eagles shut them out 40 to fucking nothing. Like I said, I won't have any action on this game. This is just the pick. I think the Packers pull it off, tear the Eagles defense. Probably like a 24-14, 24-17 kind of win for the Pack. But go fucking Birds. You know it. Next game we got Falcons and Steelers. I really like this game a lot. Falcons are a small favorite over the Steelers, who have no identity. They don't even know who their quarterback is right now. They're Russell Wilson talk, Justin Fields talk. It's getting crazy. George Pickens, a crybaby for the football. I'm sure they're going to be splitting at running back still with Najee and Jaylen Warren. On the other hand, The Falcons just got Kirk Cousins. So fucking big. Kirk's a really good player. People might not agree on that. He does choke in big moments, playoff games, end of the season games. But this is week 1. He's got Drake London, Kyle Shitz, who's going to be a lot better this year. He's going to be Kyle Pitts this year with Kirk Cousins. But they have Bijan Robinson, who's really young and good. Tyler Algier, under the radar running back, really good inside the goal line. Falcons, big pick, lock pick, super high confidence. This team, Mike Tomlin, give him his respect, whatever. I think Kirk and these Falcons put on a show week 1. I don't know why. It's kind of a gut feel. Falcons do have an underrated defense. The Steelers have a shitty defense. It's nothing what it used to be. The Steelers 25th ranked offense in 2023. They didn't upgrade at all. They got rid of Deontay Johnson. Falcons 17th ranked offense last year, but they got Kirk Cousins. So I see the Falcons as a playoff contender this year. High confidence Falcons week 1. Next we got the Cardinals and Bills. This is a weird game. I don't think the Bills are going to be that great this year. They're still going to be a good team. 9-10, maybe 11 wins. We got Kyler Murray versus Josh Allen. Start off with the Bills, the favorite. They lost Stephon Diggs in the offseason, who didn't really seem to have a great chemistry there. The Cardinals drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., which is huge. They still have Kyler, James Conner. Other than that, they don't really have a high-caliber offense, trusting their offense to be ran with a rookie. He's going to get a lot of targets this season and catches. He's probably going to have a decent year just by volume. But my week 1 pick has to be the Buffalo Bills at home. They're such a good team at home. They were 7-2 at home last year. Bills Mafia gets behind them. Josh Allen gets the job done, whatever it takes. They did grab Curtis Samuel in the offseason this year, which is a good receiver, underrated. He's going to have a really good year, I think. They still have James Cook, Dawson Knox, Josh Allen's legs. They have enough to get the job done in week 1 over the Cardinals. Although I think the Cardinals aren't going to be a slouch team this year. I think they're going to be good. Let's see. Do a little podcast juice here. A little secret juice action. I appreciate anyone watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. Next game is Jaguars Dolphins. This is going to be an awesome game for offense. You got Tua versus Trevor Lawrence. Tua, I'm still not super high on him. I don't think he's elite quarterback. I do think he's good, though. He has Tyreek Hill, makes him look even better. They still have Waddle, Devin Achane, Raheem Mostert. They still have a lot. Their defense is really good. Bradley Chubb will not start the season. He's going to be on the PUP list. The Jaguars, on the other hand, still have Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. They did get rid of Calvin Ridley in the offseason, which is, I think, huge. I'm really excited for this game. My pick is going to be the Dolphins on low confidence. They are the favorite to win the game, probably just because they're at home. Because this is a really even matchup. Both teams are balanced well. Dolphins did take this rookie in the 4th round as a running back, which is weird because they have Mostert and a chain, but that's more of like fantasy football talk. He's not really going to have a crazy season or affect this game at all, but Lower confidence pick is going to be the Dolphins in week 1. They were 7-2 at home last year as well, so I think they get up for it at home. Big game by Tyreek. Jaguars don't really have no one in the secondary that's going to stomp him. Next game, we're going with the Panthers and Saints. Oh my God. Bryce Young, he is second-year quarterback. He has absolutely nobody. The offensive line's horrible. I feel bad for him. He's undersized to begin with. It's really hard to be a small quarterback and be good in the NFL. I think he's like 5'9 or 5'10. Like, if you're not seeing above 6 foot, you're going to have a really hard time even just getting around your offensive line, seeing through it. The Saints still have Carr, Kamara, Olave, Raheem Shaheed, who is a down threat guy, always opens the field. Defense is really good in New Orleans. They still have Marshawn Lattimore, Cam Jordan, Chase Young now, a couple other good role players. Bryce Young is going to have a tough day in the dome, man. Saints, ever since they had this dome, they've had such a good record at home. It doesn't matter who they play. They have such a big advantage at home. I just think both sides of the field, the Saints are better, definitely in offense and 100% in defense. I'm going to say the Saints win this game by a nice margin. That's a high confident pick. Just blowing through this kind of quick because there's so many games this week and I don't have too much to go off. I did say quick picks as well, but I'm excited for these games for sure. Vikings and Giants is our next game. This is not a great game. Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. The Vikings, I'm going to take them. Low confidence pick. I think this game could go to anyone. Would not surprise me if the Giants steal it. The Vikings have a lot on offense still. They now have Aaron Jones at running back, which was their big offseason move. They have Justin Jefferson, amazing, top 3 receiver in the league. They have Jordan Addison as their wide receiver 2. TJ Hawkinson will now start the season healthy. He is hurt from the end of last year. I think he's on the 4 or 5 week PUP list. But the Giants have done nothing. They've given up Saquon to my team, the Eagles. They drafted a rookie wide receiver, Neighbors. And God bless him, I feel so fucking bad for him. He's going to have such a shitty season. Not due to his athletic ability. Dan Jones is just god awful. Free Aaron Jones, man. I think Minnesota's going to have a big week on them in week 1. Even though I said don't be surprised if the Giants steal it. Now that I'm starting to talk about it, I'm feeling like Aaron Jones is going to go off. Giants defense was actually a little untalked about last year. It's pretty good. But Sam Darnold's not going to have to work hard. They have so many weapons for him. Like his defense did lose Danielle Hunter, but it's Dan Jones. Vikings are the pick in week 1. Raiders and Chargers. Another toilet bowl game. Gardner Minshew has been named quarterback 1 for the Raiders. My God. God bless. Say a prayer for you, Gardner. I'm taking the Raiders in week 1. High confident pick. I think the Chargers are frauds. Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. They just gave up everything on this guy. They just said, fuck him. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, all in one offseason. These are the guys that Justin Herbert's only played with his whole career. His number one receiver now is Quentin Williams, who was a highly talked about rookie last year. Very disappointed, a lot of drops. Wide receiver 1, 2 could be Josh Palmer, depending on who has a bigger year. I would say Josh Palmer is the wide receiver 1, actually. Quentin is more like the number 2. Justin Herbert is healthy. He's throwing the ball back around. He hasn't been 100% for too long. But the Raiders are definitely my pick. Underdog pick. That goes... It's not just a value pick. I really think Gardner Minshew is a solid quarterback. They don't have too much on offense. They do have Devontae, though. I think he's going to get so many targets. And they're going to get the job done in week 1. For sure. 100% lock. Let's see. What else we got to dig into? Podcast juice to my gang. I'm so excited for football, too. Fantasy football. Got a lot of drafts this weekend coming up. Can't wait to take all your money if you're watching this. Or, yeah, you're definitely in the league if you're watching this. Got a few leagues running this year. Hopefully the guys in my fantasy league are watching this. Support the channel. Comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate anything. Even just the views, cool. Don't matter to me. Next game, we got Titans versus the Bears. The Bears with the big draft pick, Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. I was kind of iffy on him in the beginning. He had a really good preseason. Really impressed with the feet and his arm. Really looked good. They done a lot for them in the offseason by getting Keenan Allen. They kept DJ Moore, which is huge. You got a really big receiver, a possession receiver in Allen. The running back situation's still a little weird over there. They're going to be splitting snaps between Khalil Herbert and their second and third running backs. Khalil's always had an injury problem, but the Bears have a really good defense. They're another team that's good at home every year, no matter who they are, like quarterback-wise. Titans, they get Tony Pollard. DeAndre Hopkins is going to start the season hurt. Treylon Burks disappointed so bad last year for Tennessee. Tennessee did get Calvin Ridley, though, to complement that. I don't think Tennessee is going to have a great performance in week 1 without DeAndre Hopkins. Will Levis is very familiar with D-Hop. That's been his guy. No Derrick Henry. This is going to be a really different week 1 for this team. Something they haven't seen in a long time without Henry. Even when Henry was having bad games, it's just what you're used to. Like, their comfort was Derrick Henry, whether it was pass blocks or play action, handoffs to him. Tony Pollard's not going to have that same gift of pass block or third down running back, I don't believe. I do believe Dallas wore him into the ground a little bit as well. The Bears actually got DeAndre Swift, too, I forgot about. So they have him and Khalil Herbert this year. The Bears had the number 1 rush defense last year. They didn't really lose anybody on defense as well. Great matchup for the Bears week 1. Offense and defense, I think they own this game. Good team at home. Bears are the pick week 1. Go Bears. Man. Next we have the Patriots versus Bengals. I really like the Bengals week 1. I'm someone who's not a super fan of Joe Burrow as well, even though he is a really good quarterback. I'm starting to sell on him a little bit now that I'm starting to hear these other big-name quarterbacks talk about him a lot. A lot of people are giving him respect. He's just not the healthiest. Bengals had a really good year last year. I shouldn't say really good, but Even with Jake Browning, they still played really well. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Boss Joe Mixon, which is a little underrated. They go to the running backs a lot there. Mixon was putting the load on, 20 touches a game for a couple seasons. This is a high confidence pick for the Bengals, though. The Patriots are going with Drake May as their starting quarterback, and rookie quarterbacks on the road is not a good thing, especially in their first game of their career. I think Bengals torched them. 2-score win. Go Bengals and Joe Cool. Like I said, I'm not spending too much time on a lot of these picks because there's not too much to go off until a couple weeks into the season. A lot of these picks are last year related, off-season moves, preseason watch, even though a lot of stars didn't play. I did watch a lot of preseason this year, which I still feel like has a lot to do with it. Colts versus Texans, tough division game here. Anthony Richardson versus C.J. Stroud and the gang. They did pick up Stephon Diggs this year. Tank Dell is healthy. Nico Collins is very good. They got Joe Mixon. They have a good defense. On the other side, the Colts got Anthony Richardson, who's healthy now. John Taylor, who didn't hold out on them this year. Michael Pittman, you're a good receiver. You don't deserve that. Other than that, Colts don't have a high-powered offense. I don't believe Anthony Richardson is a really good passing quarterback. He shit the bed in the preseason. All the starting offense was out there. Everyone, Quentin Nelson, Michael Pittman, John Taylor, they all played when it was out there. This guy he threw a pick in the preseason. Didn't have a great completion percentage. He depends on his legs a lot. This is a really close game on the line. I think the Texans are going to pull this game easily. I think the spread's like 1.5 or something for the Texans. It makes no sense. I think because it's in Indianapolis, they're giving them some respect. But the Texans have too much on offense, way too many options. They even have Dalton Schultz as tight end, which is really good. I think the Texans are going to whop them week 1, have a really good season again, go to the playoffs, not lose to, Joe Flacco for the Browns. Joe Flacco played that game. Actually, Texans pulled that game. They lost their following game. I remember that game. That was fun. I was at the casino for that game. All these people had their money on the Browns, and the Texans were home underdogs. I remember that's why I took them. Colts did have a top 5 defense last year, but like I said, I think the Texans have too much for them this year on offense. The Diggs pickup was huge. We got the Commanders versus the BUCS. High confident pick here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels is the Commanders' starting quarterback. He's a rookie on the road. I don't think that's going to translate well into his career debut. The Commanders did pick up Austin Eckler. They have Zach Ertz, for whatever that means. Love you, Zach Ertz. You're back here. They did get Bobby Wagner on defense, who is well out of his prime. The Bucs still have Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rachaad White. And I do believe chemistry is a real thing in sports. For any sport, something I really like to preach on is teams that play together for a longer time will eventually become better. You can't switch out superstars every year. I hate to translate to another sport, but it's the Sixers. The one year they had Jimmy Butler, and they think it's just going to work in half a season. It just doesn't work like that. You need to have guys that stick around for a couple years that play well together. And I think that Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Godwin, Rashad White have great chemistry. I'm sure they've been through a lot of arguments and, celebrations as well. They've had good years together. Tampa defense is good. Commanders were last in defense in 2023. Isn't going to help with the rookie quarterback starting this game. I don't believe he's going to score enough points to where if, say their defense shits the bed, they're in a shootout. I don't think the rookie quarterback on the road is going to be able to fight that in his career debut. High confidence pick, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still hate your fucking guts. Go Birds. Next game, we have Rams and Lions. Love this game for entertainment reasons. There's so much offense in this game. The Rams still have Stafford, first ballot Hall of Famer. Don't disrespect him. He has a Super Bowl now. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Tyler Higbee. The Lions, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta. This is going to be, on paper, a shootout. I do believe with low confidence the Rams get this done on the road. Underdogs. They did lose Aaron Donald in the offseason. The Rams took 5 out of their first 6 picks, all defense. They knew they had to grab defense this year. Offense is loaded. They're prepared for shootout type games. That's why I like them. Even if the defense doesn't do that well against the high-powered Lions, I do believe that Sean McVay, the defensive coordinator, definitely get this game under wraps. That Detroit coach, man, he got big fucking balls. He'll go for it on 4th down, the first quarter on his own side of the field. He's a fucking idiot. I do like him, though, Dan Campbell. Little too ballsy. Still fucking like him. I like the Lions as a team. I think they have a lot of talent. And I like to see them win because they're young. But in their last game, it was a Rams loss. It was Lions 24-23 in a really close game. Jared Goff was fucking perfect. He just couldn't miss that day. He was 22 out of 27 pass attempts. Amon-Ra Brown fucking went off like 170 yards, I think. But I don't think Goff's going to be that good again. Going 22 out of 27 is really hard to produce again. I think Stafford and the offense gets it done this week. The Lions still have Aiden Hutchinson, who's a game wrecker, but their secondary is not that great. The Rams secondary is not that great. Hard game to predict. Let's go Rams, underdog. Then we got, Broncos and Seahawks. Jesus Christ. Another rookie quarterback on the road in his career debut. Bo Nix on the road against maybe Zach Wilson for the Seahawks. Geno. They haven't made an official call yet. No big signings for either team. The Broncos are still pushing with Cortland Sutton and Javonte Williams. They've released Tim Patrick, who's hurt every year, but he's actually good when he plays. He catches a lot of touchdowns. He's a really big guy. They traded Jerry Jeudy. They have nothing on offense for this rookie quarterback. The Seahawks still have DK, Tyler Lockett, Kenny Walker, who's decent when healthy, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's an up-and-coming wide receiver this year. He's fighting for that second spot still with Lockett. Seahawks by a touchdown. This one's a really quick pick. The rookie on the road with no offense is not going to get the job done against the Seahawks. No Pete Carroll this year for the first time in a long time, but that shouldn't matter. Cowboys and Browns. Love this game. Fuck the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are the pick. Underdog pick in Cleveland. CeeDee Lamb just re-signed. He's happy again. He's still got plenty of time with the team to get back into training camp. He's been working, whatever, not with the team. Different exercises, obviously, when you're doing your personal stuff. But Cowboys got Zeke back. Not hyping that up at all. They have Brandon Cooks. Dak is a good quarterback. Hate to say it. But Cowboys are the pick in week 1. I think Dak's good early in the season. He's got CD, Cook, Zeke, plenty of people he knows. Chemistry is a thing. They also have a good defense. 5th best offense last year for Dallas. They still have DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, Michael Parsons. The Browns, on the other hand, added Jerry Jeudy to the wide receiver corps. They still have Amari Cooper. Deshaun Watson's their quarterback, who hasn't been the same guy he ever was in Houston. There was a real big change in career ever since the trade happened or whatever happened. If you know, you know. Deshaun Watson was in some shit, man. He definitely stopped practicing for a while. The Browns still have Myles Garrett, who's going to change any game. I believe he's the best defensive player in the league. The Browns are still down on Nick Chubb, though. He's not going to start the season. He's on the PUP list. He's going to miss the first 4 weeks. And I think that does make a difference. The Browns actually played a lot better with Joe Flacco in the playoff game against the Texans than when they had Watson in the regular season. Both top 5 defenses. Browns were number 1 defense last year. On the road, go Dallas. Hate to say they have a good season, but I think they're going to be good this year. High confidence for the underdog, too, like Dallas. And then we're moving on to the Jets and the Niners. This is a Monday Night Football game. Aaron Rodgers' big return after last season. Played a couple snaps until his Achilles went. The Jets did sign Mike Wilson. Still have Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall. They have a solid offensive line. I believe they drafted someone high in the draft as well for the line to protect Rodgers. But on the 49ers side, they still have Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. They were able to get Deebo Samuel back. They were able to get Brandon Ayuk back. They still have George Kittle. Love their team so much. Their 49ers are so good. Their defense is so good. They have Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Leonard Floyd, Javon Hargrave, Charvarius Ward. They were the number 8th ranked defense last year. The Jets were the number 3 ranked defense with Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams, C.J. Mosley, Isaiah Oliver, DJ Reed. I also think the Jets have the best kicker in the league. Greg Zuerlein, Legatron, man. That's underrated. You get into tough field positions, and which I don't think is going to happen as much this year because Rodgers is playing on offense, but even if they just get barely over the 50, they're at the 40-yard line. Like, they're going to go for those 55-yard attempts with Legatron. They trust him. He's really good. Who knows? He could be a Hall of Famer as a kicker. But this game is going to be awesome. This is a great, great game. Aaron Rodgers, I don't believe, is going to get humiliated in the national TV game for his big return. I believe he has enough weapons there in week 1 to get the job done over San Fran, another underdog pick. I respect San Fran so much. Kyle Shanahan's so good as a coach. They're another great team at home. But something's telling me Aaron Rodgers, there's not a lot of film out on Aaron Rodgers and this team playing it all. I believe they're going to have a lot of scripted plays that work well. They say the first 10 to 15 plays are scripted. After that, you go off what you're seeing with the coordinators. I don't believe that's going to be true for this one. I feel like there's so much drawn up for Aaron Rodgers. He's a God Hall of Famer so easily. And I think they win this game over San Fran in San Fran like 2017, 23-20. Really weird game. But I can't wait. I'm jazzed up for week 1. That is like a lower confident pick for the Jets just because of the math I'm going off and what I have to calculate this game. Aaron Rodgers hasn't played too much for the Jets. But I can't wait for week 1. I think I'm going to make one more video before the season starts with just maybe some bets I'm going to place for week 1, whether they're spreads or money lines or player props. I usually do really good in week 1 the past few years. I always have a really big one. Last year I had Josh Allen to throw over 1.5 touchdown passes. It was my biggest bet. Year before that, I remember I had the Ravens and the Chiefs both to cover spreads. There were low spreads because it was week 1. Week 1 is about taking advantage of low spreads and unknown numbers, which could backfire, but I don't believe so. Can't wait to see how these picks go. Kind of intended for the video to be this long, but we're at 37 minutes right now. I'm probably going to go to a 40. I'll do another video after this, after week 1 rather, when all the games pass, with the results and how everything went, how everyone looked. Hopefully do some fantasy football talk if some people tune in. Drop a comment if you want to hear anything that I didn't mention, or if you just want to talk about any games. I'm down to talk about any games. Betting, fantasy football or just in general. Make sure I covered every game here. We could talk parlays. I really think I'm going to have the Falcons in a few plays. Definitely not betting the Eagles game. Can't wait though. Friday Night Football, that's new in Brazil. Don't love it. But that's going to conclude week 1. I can't wait to get back at it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And who knows? Maybe, like I said, I might have a little co-host next episode for the results and Eagles talk, fantasy talk. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Let's go. Big money coming week 1. Good picks. Another high winning rate. Good luck.